You know, you tell a climber anything, and they're always whining about style. Can't you do it in better style? Aren't you getting hauled? What are you doing up there? I mean, you're putting your team at risk. And then you tell the disabled guy, and they think you're just crazy.
Forever, there will be some level of controversy around Brad going climbing, and questions, is Brad being hauled up? Is this a risk to others?
No, cancel the back race. The point of that was to give it a whirl, and if it didn't get better, we go down, but I think we've gone a little far now.
I know people that have suffered the same level of injury that Brad has. They want to die because they just couldn't see any possibility beyond their present state.
So the tricky thing is to know is, I don't know where, the threshold of, being uncomfortable and dangerous is. And I think you only really know if, that you're in danger when you're in danger, and then it's too late. So growing up, Dad always wanted us out of the house, away from the TV. So whether that was hiking or, going skiing or even if it was just, going for walks along the river, it was always, let's get outside, let's get out of the house, let's, do something in the fresh air, not, sit around a TV.
Brad was an impressive kid when he was younger. He was a good kid. He didn't deserve this to happen to him. I don't know where it started, but it seemed as though every time we went through Jasper, he would say, oh, I could climb that mountain, or I'm going to climb that one, or this one over there. But where he got that bug from, I couldn't tell you, because frankly, I'm terrified of heights myself.
This way.
The whole reason that Brad had an accident was because my ex-father-in-law passed away, and so I thought it was appropriate that both boys went back to Saskatchewan for the funeral. I can remember telling them before they left, you boys are going to a funeral, make sure that I don't go to a funeral. And that was the last time I saw Brad walk. I don't know what made me do it, but I went to the foot of his bed and running my thumbnail along the bottoms of his feet to see if there was a reflex. And then I knew just how badly he had been injured.
First couple weeks into the injury, you're just laying there, and you're wasting away, and all the muscles falling off you, and very quickly they try to get you to do as much as you can. You're angry, but you don't know at who. Certainly the low point of my life, I could tell you that. To go from being totally independent and just taking off for a week into the mountains by yourself, and then being completely dependent on other people to, do, well, everything for you, I guess. That's hard to adjust to. You get to the point where you're like, I don't want to live like this. And think about trying to tell your father, well, I don't want to live like this. What do you say? Dad, I don't want to live like this. I'd rather be dead. Try that out sometime.
I was quite upset, and I guess I was showing it. And Brad became quite angry with me, and he said, Dad, would it have been better, or would it have been easier for you if I had died? I wasn't quite prepared to get poleaxed between the eyes that hard, but I guess that's what I needed.
Brad's aunt called me to tell me that her nephew was disabled, he was in depression, and he was about to sell off all his climbing gear, and asked me if I would phone him, which I did. I phoned Brad, and we had over an hour on the phone just talking about his situation, and I said to him, Brad, I truly believe you can do anything you want. It's going to be different. It won't be the same by any means, but you can do it. If you want to climb, I believe you can.
So my mission statement is just to get back to climbing, get as close as I can to climbing as I was, despite the limitation. So if I'm not doing big scary leads, not taking big ripper falls, not being right in there, I'm still going to be, and not even sidelines. I mean, I'm still going to be right there. I'm still going to be. I mean, if you're hanging from an 11-mile rope and looking down a few hundred meters or a few thousand meters, that's rewarding. I mean, just being there is rewarding.
Basically, we had three obstacles, the three things that we had to overcome right from the beginning. First of all, we had to find a comfortable seating system so that we wouldn't run into autonomic dysreflexia. Then we had to overcome his strength limitations by devising some kind of a mechanical system that would give him the mechanical advantage to use the strength and the muscle groups that he had left. And then the third one, of course, was that for someone who cannot use his hands, we had to come up with a way that he could hold on to something in order to use the muscles that he still had.
Okay, there we go. Come on, buddy. Hey! Yeah! All right, man. Woo! Okay, get me out. Get me out. Woo! I don't know. All right. The rappel's been planned for over a year now. It's been a research and development headache to get the harness both comfortable and safe. It's got to be safe. Squamish will be the best place to test it for safety and for comfort. It's pretty high rappel. It's something to practice on. It's got to be right. It's got to be safe for next year's climb.
I want to call requests through heating vents and hear them answered with a whisper no. To crack the code of muscle slack and tense. Let every second step into
Okay, go ahead.
All right, that was pretty good.
Well done, Brad.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Good job, buddy.
Okay, more of the same.
When I first met him, he was just really quiet and reserved, if anything. Like, I don't even think he thought, I'll never walk again. When he first crashed his car, it was, I'll never climb again. I mean, people normally think, oh my God, I can't move my legs, I'm not going to walk. But for him, it was like, I'm not ever going to climb.
Wait, two more.
So I met Brad, and I really thought he was insane. It's, just nuts to think, how are you going to get up the wall? Because it definitely has never been done before. Someone with Brad's level of disability thinking about climbing.
He got into this goal that he was going to climb the chief. And I begged him, Brad, please, don't say you're going to climb the whole chief. Say you're going to climb some of the chief, And I realized that here I was telling him he could do anything he put his mind to, but that I was trying to limit him by my own caution.
The Grand Wall route travels up the center of what's generally called the Grand Wall, which is a large, essentially vertical face of granite for just under 2,000 feet. Right off the highway, people drive past it on a regular basis and look up and can see the little specks of climbers on the Grand Wall and think, wow, what a crazy place to be. It's way up there, and if you drop something from anywhere on the Grand Wall, it's going straight to the ground.
My lack of precision is a source of constant amusement to him, and he will remind anybody that he comes across about my ill measurement.
Even some of the first splints for my hands were duct tape. And then there was duct tape, protect my hip. And then there was duct tape to fix things. And then there was duct tape to, keep my hip in place. And then there was duct tape to hold my feet together. And Dad shows up, 4 or 5 days before. We're supposed to go test this thing. And I said, well, here's a seat and here's a back. and can you make something? So the first contraption was basically made in 5 days with a, he went to, just drove to Canadian Tire, got himself a drill press and started bending some tubes, and it was called the contraption because it was thrown together in 4 or 5 days in our living room basically.
Steve, think about, see what attitude. Ready, one, two. Ready, one, two, go. Ready, one, two. Brad, just a bit slower. Sorry.
I want to get more people climbing. I want to show even the guys in power chairs that, hey, if you want to get out of that power chair and be in a manual, you can do it. If you want to, if you actually want to look after your health and maybe trade a bit of comfort for adventure, that you can go on these adventures.
I did it.
I survived it. Barely. The Wright brothers' flight.
There's funny misconceptions too. Like, they're like, wow, it's good to see you doing stuff. Like as if my life would just stop, because I'm in a wheelchair, right? I think sometimes people see in a chair, they also think, wow, I must wonder if he hit his head. They assume, wow, I mean, they have no idea, right? So they think, wow, is there cognitive problems here? Is this guy like drool and stuff? So people get a little nervous around chairs. If you haven't been around chairs, you assume the worst, right?
Put up again. Okay. 1, 2, go. 1, 2.
We had made great progress every year. For 3 years, we, by leaps and bounds, were making it farther and farther, 3 pitches, 6 pitches, 7, 8, 9 pitches up the grand wall.
As far as the weather was concerned, it was a perfect day, hot, sunny, too hot actually, but we started early enough in the morning that we had hoped to get most of the thing done before the sun swung around the mountain and started to impact on the mountain.
Well, the weather was brutally hot like that. I think that's probably the hottest day in Squamish that summer. Like, it was easily 35 degrees in the parking lot and maybe 40 degrees up where we were. And it just got hotter and hotter and hotter.
1, 2, go. 1, 2, go. 1, 2, go. 1, 2, go.
That track is the right idea, but, to try to keep the pole symmetrical, to try to, do something with that left-right imbalance that I have, but really that thing, I'm torquing it so much the bearings just seize up, and then I'm stuck. Can't make any more forward progress, so we're on the phone and we're on the radio trying to get people to bring up screwdrivers and pick up parts from Home Depot. It was funny until it started getting hot.
See the bearings?
The weather ended up being quite hot that day. We got stymied by a problem with Brad's rig that we couldn't fix on the spot, so we had to wait. We got caught in the sun longer. And Brad, because he can't thermoregulate, he can't sweat, so he can't deal with heat. There's no physical way to really deal with heat other than us covering him or spraying with water. No real control.
So we are going down. This is the first time I've had to bail on a route that I've had to actually call it.
So that one.
Mostly just because there's many things working against us here. I'm overly hot, dyslexic. We've been on the blood pressure cuff. The numbers are all out of whack, and it's only going to get worse up above. So we're just doing the responsible thing and bailing early.
The climb in 2004 was a failure in terms that we never made it to the top. In terms of lessons learned, I would have to rate it as a partial success because we learned a whole lot of things that we didn't know before.
I was looking at it as a failure, and I said, it's not a failure. That you've gone up higher than you've ever gone before. I think it was a success. So you didn't reach the top. Big deal. There's next year and next year and next year. The mountain's not going to move. You know, you're so passionate about this climbing thing. It's going to be there.
I wouldn't want to say that we were more outdoorsy than most or a lot of Canadian families. We skied and swam in lakes and went camping and canoeing and biking and all that kind of stuff, but I wouldn't say to any greater extent than most Canadian families.
So, I mean, some of the early climbing was, you know, we didn't really know what we were doing, and it was a little bit dangerous and didn't have the right gear, but slowly we, you know, met the right people and started going out to some of the local crags, you know, starting on, you know, simple 5.9s and 5.8s and top roping, and you know, the season after that, the stuff that I was falling off on top ropes, I was, you know, climbing with, you know, boots and a pack and just soloing up some, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, I went through the grades quite quickly.
There's quads that I've worked with that have basically given up on life and are just, you know, okay, so I'm alive the next day, whatever, keep going. Or they drink themselves silly or turn to drugs. Yeah, I've seen guys that have given up, and I've seen guys like Brad that are so motivated. It's like, hey, there's more to life than just being in this damn chair, and I'm going to do it.
Part of the whole project is to gather people around an objective and get people motivated to help, and because we need a lot of people, different people with different skills to contribute.
This whole climb could not have occurred without the participation of many people with various levels of expertise in climbing in a whole lot of respects, who became enthusiastic volunteers, primarily because of the person that Brad is.
The streets I know will never take me anywhere but here.
What inspires me is actually Brad. I've worked with people with disabilities, and he has been an exceptional individual since I met him at the age of 19.
We're here to help out Brad, to help him out in his big mission, and my girlfriend's a quadriplegic, and they know each other through some internet stuff.
Good job. Nice job.
I thought, well, if I can help somebody do what they're passionate about, especially sports-wise, and then that, yeah, I thought it would be a wonderful thing to be a part of. And yeah, it just kind of spoke to me.
See, this is the pass when you get to it.
I'm trying not to wonder where you are.
What do you think about that?
The guys are doing extremely well. They've done 3 pitches in 2 hours, which is a quarter of the way, and which is just a fantastic rate of ascent. I'm not sure that they'll be able to maintain that once they get up higher, but things are looking extremely well right now, and I could see that they could go any better at this point.
Whether it's climbers telling you that you have no business being up there and you should stick to the sidewalks, or whether it's people in the disability community saying, well, you're just nuts and you're just getting a free ride. You know, stuff like that is just like throwing gas on the fire, because it just, you want to stick it to them and show them, I'm doing this, whether or not, if you have something bad to say, go ahead and say it, because it's not going to affect my resolve. Actually, it strengthens my resolve. It makes you want to gut it out even more, right?
things because I'm fearless. I do them because they scare the hell out of me and they keep my attention. I'm easily distracted, and I like to do the things that terrify me. Because if it's easy, why would you bother?
Well, congratulations, son. It's been a long time coming. With it, eh? Good for you.
My city's still breathing, but barely, it's true. Through buildings gone missing like teeth, the sidewalks are watching me think about you. Sparkled with broken glass, I'm back with scars to show. Back with the streets I know will never take me anywhere but here.